So you're the ones who've been sniffing around.
I beg your pardon?
Don't play the fool. Stick your nose in our business and you're likely to lose it.
Who are you working for? Him or her?
Him. The boss. He wanted us to test you.
Though one could hardly call that a test.
Lord Furder?
Look what the cat dragged in.
Your skill with the blade is rare indeed, my lord. A fitting talent for an outlaw.
You know who I am. So what now? Call in the Men of the Rock and collect the bounty?
That isn't my decision to make. Our work is done. Take him to meet his precious Rosina. She will be interested to make his acquaintance.
Yes, my lord. To the Lock of Leisure, then.
To the Lock of Leisure.
Oh, it's a Lock of Leisure. Oh, fuck!
Plates and pots!
Sounds like a
Bowls and
brothel.
basins!
I'm going to the brothel.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Take a sniff, good sir.
The finest fabric!
Is this the place?
Ubor's Forge. The Briar's Kiss.
Ah, so it was the young sprig after all. So much for Rosina Dalamil being a woman of experience. How wrong I was.
It was an easy mistake to make, Uncle. After all, it must have been years since Sid last saw her. Sorry, him. Whoever this Lubor truly is, he's clearly a man of means. I'd say he deserves our respect.
See that he gets it. Lubor, Lord Furder told me to bring them to you.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second?
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity? Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing. And nothing is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I too have nothing. I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
By all means. Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the two travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Ha! Men like you have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
Fine. So what do you want?
Don't tell me you're gonna listen to this swaggering scruff!
We might as well hear him out. It's only natural that an ally of Sid's would seek assurances of strangers. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years ago, he would have still been a boy.
And yet even then I had more good sense than a man, 5 times my age? But enough of the pleasantries. We were speaking of what I want. I want you to put an end to the trouble in Dalamil. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid. Until then, I bid you good day.
What trouble? If you're going to give us orders, be clear about them, damn you!
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did you call me?
My apologies. A word of advice in recompense. Follow the crystals. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Ha! It will be easy. Solving his little riddle should be like dealing with him. Child's play. Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this parlor game on any longer than we need to.
All right. Good luck, Uncle.
What the fuck's wrong with this guy?
I thought we were the only ones causing trouble in Dalamil. Excuse me. Is it true there's been trouble with crystals of late?
You've heard, then?
I've heard rumors.
Damn thieves. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups and light our stoves. Us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between us these last few moons. And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market either. Whoever's taking them, they aren't sharing.
Do you have a moment?
Depends what for.
Just a question. Dalamil seems to be thriving compared to the other villages I came through on the way. Is there a reason for that?
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fang for one. The soldiers guarding the Mother Crystal and the shipments need a place to spend their hard-earned gil. The men of the Rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Don't let me keep you from your work any longer.
A deposit.
The juiciest meat from green. Fed birds. One bite and you'll be begging for more.
Wait, is that pizza?
Where?
Oh, it's
Read
like
it.
non bread or some shit.
Yeah, it looks like non-bread, but read it. Oh, it's flatbread.
You wouldn't believe how much he gave me. What can I do for you, soldier? Need that sword polishing?
I'm not a soldier.
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the Rock and the men of the Rock only.
You have an agreement with them?
Don't be stupid. I just know which side my bread is buttered. Don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave, will you? Before you scare them off.
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on. I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. He'll probably be back at the inn by now.
The finest fabrics, fresh from the capital.
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
It's you, the one who broke all our furniture. What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
I'm looking for my pal. Have you seen him?
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's upstairs, but...
Thank you. I'll go and fetch him.
Will this suffice as a deposit?
By the sands. That's a black pearl.
One of the many treasures in my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason to do so.
All right. I'm sure that we can come to an agreement, but not here.
What are you doing, Uncle?
He's gonna get noticed, wanting so much fucking money.
Care to explain why you're giving gifts to Kupka's men?
Bait, my boy. One cannot catch one's prey without it. And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking around the markets as to where I might purchase crystals. I had no luck, of course. It's forbidden to trade in such things. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion just happened to attract the attention of those uniformed ruffians. They took me aside and said they could procure the crystal I sought if I proved I could pay for it.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd ask for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000 or so. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge. What did you discover?
That the supply of crystals has dried up of late. And some people seem to think they're being stolen. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard have been spending money all over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere, and pocketing the profits.
I'll wager you're right.
We'll meet with them then, just as you arranged, and put an end to the trouble Lubor spoke of.
Ha! That preening popinjay thought this would be difficult. It just goes to show, one should never underestimate a Rosfield. We'll soon wipe that smirk off his face.
Yeah,
I
right there.
arranged to meet with the soldiers in a secluded corner of the Velcroy, far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of double dealing.
I trust I can count on your support if things turn sour.
Of course.
Why is the tavern shut?
Faster!
You ever fight on your jungle?
Nope.
I'll take it from here.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord. You've brought your contribution?
All the silver and stones I could scrape together at such short notice?
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
Of course. Right this way, my lord.
Not bad at all. You weren't lying about the clarity. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property of the Republic?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a portion of the Mother Crystal's bounty. And being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion and share the benefits. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere, no matter where they might happen to end up next.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots!
So it would seem.
I like how you just.
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs. They're not here to do business. Kill them. Kill them both!
This one! My turn! Got
this one.
I'll not be outdone.
Well, that wasn't too bad. How'd you like my performance, huh? I've often played the villain on the stage. I think I did the role justice. Don't you?
Greybeard, you were magnificent.
Greybeard.
The battle scene was particularly thrilling. Such a shame you didn't have more of an audience, but perhaps that's for the best.
How long have you been watching?
Long enough to witness your uncle's sordid transaction. I hardly expected one so venerable to degrade himself so thoroughly, buying one's way into the confidence of degenerates. Ingenious.
This was the trouble you spoke of. The men of the Rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspiring with the Royalists. Well, now it's over.
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign army. Until you two came along, that is.
That's it? That's the only people doing it?
I guess so.
That's convenient.
Well, we'd better get these crystals back to town. You won't mind waiting with them while I fetch a wagon. It occurs to me that I still don't know your name.
Clive.
So, Sid the Second is a Clive. I suppose it could have been worse. Well, Clive, you held up your end of the bargain, so I must do the same. Passage through the South Gate, was it not? To tell the truth, you've helped a little there too. Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their missing comrades. And those left behind have been encouraged to look the other way should you attempt to pass through.
Thank you. And please allow me to cover your costs. You still have the purse I gave to the soldiers, I trust? I saw you pluck it from one of the bodies.
Oh, dear. Was I really so obvious?
And my name is not Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield, thank you very much.
No, thank you very much, Greybeard.
Double the...
Here, wear this.
He shouldn't be saying his name everywhere, man.
Any friend of mine who sees you with it shall be a friend of yours.
Thank you, Lubor.
Man, where are you
And
putting all these
please,
badges?
feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
I'm like a Boy Scout and I've got all these badges.
It's like fucking. It's like Pokemon. You're just collecting fucking badges at this point.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive? So be sure not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold. Well then, I wish you a safe journey south.
Thank you.
Not at all. It was my pleasure.
Come on, Uncle. Let's go.
I've never even forged a butter knife before. Perhaps Forge Master.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Oh, wait. Sorry. My mind. I'm Saver, Master Luber's least soon-to-be former apprentice if I don't pass this test. People are buying up weapons faster than the Briar's Kiss can forge them, and here I am. He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of Dalam. I don't suppose you have any idea what he's on about, do you?
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask. It was that all.
I could give you a hand. I know how busy the Briar's Kiss has been.
I'd be a fool to refuse.
So, where do we start?
Good question. If I'm and then there's this little riddle to keep in mind. The spirit.
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be solving loopholes. We need information.
You're right. There's no point fumbling in the... Now, There's plenty of folk in Dalamil who use knives for a living. There's the butcher, of course, and any number of cooks. They're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools. All right. I think we have a plan. I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher.
All right.
Let's hope that someone says something useful.
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I'd better get to it.
The most fragrant herbs and spices from the...
Welcome, sir.
A question. I need to know what makes a good...
You a blacksmith or something?
Something.
Fair enough. Knives, is it? First and foremost, it's got to hold an edge. Most knives will make it through fat, no problem, but sinew dulls cheap steel, and give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping block, and I'm a happy woman.
So a knife that stays sharp.
Sweet insect! Ha! They've opened the gate!
Lubor was true to his word.
Everything I've worked for, all those years of toil,
Are you all right?
the baths are closed. On second thought, perhaps you are just what I need.
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. The water's turned scalding hot and all the crystals in Dalamil wouldn't... I've no doubt that my woes stem from the waters. But I can't go and investigate for fear of my custom. I'm bound to these baths in more ways than one. I beg of you. Go to Dusnoff Terraces.
All right.
Wonderful. It's leave the market by the south gate. The smell of sulfur will... These baths are all that keep me from an ignoble end in it. My livelihood, my very life...
Made from the stoutest stoneware. No matter how rocky the road.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Is it true what I'm hearing? The men of the rock are carting off our crystals from themselves.
My carpets have bridal lace.
Kneaded to a silken softness, like eating a cloud with a crust.
Just look at the... Hanging lanterns, keep the darkness from your door.
What is it? Minomu.
Sorry.
Hunter.
I have a question. Can you tell me what makes...
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. Can't be dealing with a brittle blade. Your knife snaps every time you use it. You'll be spending coin as fast as you make it.
Thank you.
Full business, eh? Man after my own.
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did.
Plates and pots!
Take a sniff, good sir.
So, you learn anything useful, or...?
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp.
All the cook said was that he needs his knives to be light. Too heavy, and they do his shoulder.
So we're no better off than when we start. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean anything with his Dalamil, but that can't be right. I've bandied enough words with the man to know that he chooses... No. We must be missing something.
No doubt you're right, but I have to make a start soon.
Agreed. Lubor wouldn't like that much.
Right. I've been trained to work iron. The cheap stuff, mind. But it's harder. Trouble is, it's either durable or it's light, meaning someone is going to be disappointed.
Is there no one else you can turn to? Someone who knows their metals, perhaps?
The other apprentices know better than to help me with my test. A merchant, a favourite of Forge Master Lubor's, who sells I bet she'd know a thing or two.
Oh my lord.
What?
Is it true?
Go back the other way for this stupid ass quest.
Well, at least you got a chugaboo. Hey, yo, your truck was going fast.
Thanks, Gal. Any luck? Or will you be needing help with your bat?
Well, I asked her, but... you tell him.
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress a master like Lubor, there are options. They're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from generation to generation, never needing so much as a lick of the whetstone. But adamantite ore is unique to ash, so...
And it's beyond my skill to handle.
Unique to ash? Are there any materials unique to Dalamil? Something which could be mixed with iron to refine it. Make it lighter.
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained you to work iron. Then that's what he'll expect you to use. But he would have known that it would either be too heavy or too brittle for a carving knife. Perhaps his Dalamil remark wasn't a riddle.
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limestone, I suppose. Folk first settled Dalamil to get at a mineral and if you know the trick, it can be melted down in the furnace to drive out impurities from low-quality iron.
Bloody hell! That must be it! I don't suppose you know the trick, do you?
It's hardly my speciality, but I've been around enough blacksmiths to know how it works.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've done.
Limestone? Fine. I can hardly abandon you. Besides, I want to know if this is the answer to Lubor's little riddle.
I can't thank you. You'll have no trouble finding limestone over in the terraces.
Then I suppose I'll meet you back at the forge.
Right you are. I'll see you... So, do you crush it up, or just throw it in the... Nice.
Yeah!
That'll do, girl.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The finest fabrics! Fresh,
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Silver platters, sweet incense, wax candles.
Finally, we'll be able to get...
We should get going soon. Do you have water?
Ah, I'm not too late.
What is it, Lubor?
A question that I neglected to ask earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang. To finish Hugo Kupka.
Just as I thought. Then allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently riddled with royalists. Talmeki and Walud are allies, and as you have seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. My man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest. I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
I don't plan on dying. Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs. Shall we press on?
Picking up shit is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Southern needs. Good girl.
Come on, girl.
By the flames. That explains the heat. Nice try.
All yours, Torgal!
This one.
You, my boy.
Over here.
Out of the frying pan.
Attack! Sick 'em. Get 'em. Over here. Now, Torgo. Nice try. This one. Get him. This one. It's over.
Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling.
Well, this is no good. I was hoping to get out of the heat for a little while.
Is it true what I'm hearing? That the men of the rock were carting off our crystals for themselves?
I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this is enough.
You are one of the good ones. You know, you and that merchant both, she's got quite... Now, time to see if limestone... That'll do, I reckon. A knife forged from the very rocks of Dalamil. Her spirit, if you will.
It's a fine-looking blade.
That sounds like my cue. And just as well. I was getting tired of waiting.
I'm sorry, Forge Master Lubor.
Let's take a look then, shall we? First things first, Sava, do you think this is a carving knife worthy of the fine people of Dalamil?
I'd like to think so. But what do you think?
What do I think indeed? It's sharp-ish, but it won't last long with hard use. And it's heavy, heavier than it should be. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment, but sell that to a cook and you'll never hear the end of it. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was a step in the right direction, granted, but one that still leaves you short of the mark.
And I was so certain I had it all worked out.
I don't know who you found to teach you that little trick, but it certainly shows initiative. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I'd made this?
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? Hmm? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalamil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava: know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. Thank you. I was wondering, what would you do if you were asked to forge a carving knife?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's for. If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, I'd make it as tough as Titan. For the cook, light as a feather. And for the nobleman, I'd make it cost an absolute fortune.
There goes a master, all right.
It looks like congratulations are in order.
I couldn't have done it without you. So much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalamil had nothing to do with limestone or anything much at all. Meaning, I had you run around for no good reason.
You've passed your test. That's all that matters. You'll have a forge of your own in no time.
And when I do, I'll craft you the finest carving knife you have ever seen.
Is it true what I'm hearing?
The finest fabric!
Take a sniff, good sir.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
Made from the stoutest
There he is. The man who... I was hoping we'd be seeing. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the...
Not what I expected, that's for certain.
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? But I burdened you with my worries enough already. Here, Right. It's high time I got back to work. With a little luck, the day might yet...
Sweet incense! What's
Hello. Blah, blah, blah.
But Ryan, do you even enjoy doing these quests?
No.
Wow.
Who's this blue?
Makes it feel like I'm playing a single player FF14.
Ryan, you keep saying that. If you don't like doing them, then why do you do them?
Because they give rewards.
What a guy. Guy can't help but grind.
Back, are ya? So, what'll it be?
Well, this is no good. I was hoping to get out
Is it
of the
true
heat
what
for
I
a
mean?
little while.
Carting off our crystals for themselves?
The finest
Take a sniff, good sir.
Kneaded to a silken softness.
Plates and pots!
Sweet incense.
We should get going soon.
Let's go.
Come on, girl.
There it is. Drake's Fang.
Kupka will be hiding inside.
Along with goodness knows how many guards, all on highest alert. You'll need to keep your wits about you if you're to reach him. So be careful.
I will, Uncle.
Before you go, Clive, allow me to apologize. After what befell at Phoenix Gate and the crisis that followed in its wake, I fled. I retreated to my counting house and danced attendance upon the vicereine in the hope it would bring me favor. I betrayed my nation to save my skin, like the coward I am. And I'm sorry.
Uncle, please.
It's not too late, Clive. Rosaria is yours by right, and there are those that would help you to take it back. Had I the courage of my brother, I might already have done so. But that ship has sailed. You, however...
No. Forgive me, but I cannot. I fight to build a new world now. A better world. Where men can live and die on their own terms. I was raised in a nation that strove to improve the plight of bearers. later did I realize that spark of freedom did not arise by chance, but was kindled by my father. You would see me follow in his footsteps. And that is exactly what I mean to do. Not by ruling Rosaria, but by extending his ideals to the whole of the twins. Though every soul in the realm may judge my actions heresy, I am certain my cause is just.
You really are just like him, you know? Thank you, Clive, for coming back to me. I am proud to call you nephew. Well then, this is where we must part ways. Wish me luck in convincing my Canvarian friend to share his considerable talents. I mean to plunder his coffers and prove myself worthy of a place in your merry band. Till then, my boy.
Till then, go safely, Uncle.
And you, nephew.
Oh, he did.
We have much to catch up on, you and I. I shall expect you to regale me with the tales of all your adventures when next we meet. You can regale me too, Torgal.
The fuck with this guy?
He's 100% dead.
Link, my boy.
I'm coming for you, Kupka.
Guy reminds me of the King of Hyrule.
Owned. Just gonna lay down for a little bit.
I might stop soon.
Soon or now?
Yeah, I think I'll stop now.
Okay. Yeah, you can stop whenever you want.